Hi, I'm Sean. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm chatting about the solar eclipse, which is happening on the 21st of September. This eclipse is blessed by Jupiter, which means on the whole, it's quite positive. Please listen to my intro, and then scroll down for your sun, moon, and rising sign. What is a solar eclipse, and what makes it partial? A solar eclipse happens when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, temporarily obscuring the sun's light. It's a cosmic moment of new beginnings, where the usual solar energy is interrupted, which gives us a chance for some introspection and maybe even some transformation, maybe a pause. A partial solar eclipse means the moon only covers part of the sun's disk. While not as dramatic as a total eclipse, it still carries potent energy, especially when aligned with the south node, as this one is. This eclipse happens at 29 degrees Virgo, the final and most mature degree of the sign, a symbolic threshold between endings and new beginnings. But more about that later. So let's chat about the grounded Virgo energy, and I'm aware that I'm generalizing, but there are some truths to these general energies. Key words include precision, purification, and purpose. Virgo is the zodiac's master editor, analytical, practical, and deeply devoted to service. It governs health and healing, daily routines and rituals. Virgo energy has a strong work ethic and is organized. Virgo teaches us that small changes lead to big transformations. It's not about perfection, but about progress through mindful attention to detail. During this eclipse, Virgo's energy is amplified by a stellium. The Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus are all having a party in Virgo, making this a good time to cleanse and commit to what truly matters. So let's go into the 29 degrees business, and I promise I won't get lost in astrology jargon. This eclipse occurs at 29 degrees Virgo, known as the Anaretic Degree, the final degree of any zodiac sign. In astrology, the Anaretic Degree is often called the degree of fate or crisis degree, symbolizing a culmination point where energies are intense, urgent, and ripe for resolution. In Virgo, this degree amplifies themes of letting go of perfectionism. Also, releasing outdated routines or roles and making final decisions about health, service, or work. The eclipse here acts like a spiritual audit, helping us close karmic loops and refine our path forward. With Jupiter's supportive aspect, this anaretic eclipse feels less like a crisis and more like a graceful exit from what no longer aligns, and a hopeful entry into what does. Now let's talk about my favorite planet, Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance. Does Jupiter bless this eclipse? Yes, and beautifully so. Jupiter in Cancer forms a harmonious aspect to the eclipse, offering wisdom, emotional resilience, and spiritual support. This softens the intensity and brings a sense of hope and expansion, especially as we release outdated patterns. Letting go can be difficult, but Jupiter promises something better. Also, the eclipse is part of a kite formation, channeling Virgo's grounded energy into flowing aspects with Pisces placements. This could not be more positive. So what should we do, and what shouldn't we do? I would use this time to assess your routines, health habits, and work-life balance. Why not try to declutter as much as possible? Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Let go of what no longer serves. The energy is helping you do this, so take advantage. Set intentions, especially around service, healing, and personal growth. Write, plan, and organize is key now. I say this because Mercury is direct and strong, perfect for communication and clarity. Now let's look at what you shouldn't do. Avoid starting major new ventures. Eclipse energy is unstable. Wait a few days before launching anything. Plan, don't do. Also avoid overthinking or perfectionism. Virgo's shadow side can be critical. Stay compassionate. So let's look at each sign. Hi Aries. This eclipse is hitting your 6th house of daily work, health, service. You might experience some changes in these areas. A quick example. Maybe you realize your work routine is draining you, so you start a healthy meal routine and set healthy boundaries with clients. Your eclipse mantra: I refine my rhythm to support my energy. Hi Taurus. This solar eclipse hits your 5th house of creativity, pleasure, and children. Think about how you get joy in your life. Are there any new avenues for joy? What lights you up? A quick example. Maybe you decide to stop postponing the art class and sign up for a weekend workshop. Your eclipse mantra: I make space for what brings me alive. Hi Gemini. This is hitting your fourth house of home and family. The eclipse might bring up issues around your family life, and I guess you could say private life. Do some of your home routines need to change? This is a good time to plan a possible renovation, but don't start these during an eclipse. Declutter your home if you can, but don't overdo the cleaning, please. A quick example. Theo clears out his childhood bedroom and finally feels ready to move out of the family home. Your eclipse mantra: I create space for peace and belonging. Hi Cancer, this hits your third house of communication, siblings and short trips. Expect shifts in how you communicate. Maybe emails are not the way to go. Issues with technology and communication systems may also arise, but please know this is temporary. A quick example of an eclipse in the third house. Sean starts journaling daily and reconnects with his sister after months of silence. This house also governs local and short-distance journeys, so changes in transportation, vehicles, or modes of travel are possible. Hi Leo. This eclipse hits your money house, but don't panic. Jupiter is blessing you. The second house is about money, values, and your self-worth. There could be some shifts in how you make money or what you think about money. A quick example of this eclipse energy: Mark lets go of a side hustle that no longer aligns with his values and raises his rates. What a relief. Your eclipse mantra: I trust in the value I bring. Hi Virgo, this is your eclipse and the first house is activated. So we're looking at identity, body and personal direction. There could be a shift in these areas. Often there can be a makeover, but not always. A quick example. Ava cuts her hair, updates her wardrobe and reintroduces herself to the world. Your eclipse mantra: I show up as who I truly am. Hi Libra, this is a spiritual time for you, I think. The eclipse hits your 12th house of rest, healing and the subconscious. Key themes are solitude, endings and spiritual insights. An eclipse example: Noah takes a digital detox and spends a weekend in silent retreat. Your mantra eclipse: I release what I no longer need. Hi Scorpio. This eclipse hits your 11th house, which is all about community, wishes and pennies from heaven. There could be some changes in your friendship groups, maybe some surprises here. For some lucky Scorpios, especially Scorpio risings there, maybe some unexpected money coming from some hard work you did long ago. Let's hope. An eclipse example: Maya leaves a group chat that drains her and joins a local wine club. Your eclipse mantra: I align with people who share my vision. Hi Sagittarius, this eclipse is hitting your 10th house of career, reputation and public life. You may experience some dramatic changes in the workplace, maybe a new rule at work or a new boss. If you in sales, a new commission structure. A quick eclipse example: Leo updates his CV and applies for a role that better reflects his skills. Your eclipse mantra could be: I take responsibility for my path. Hi Capricorn. This eclipse is activating your 9th house of beliefs, travel, higher learning. Expect events related to universities, higher education, and the development of your personal belief systems. You might start a new course of study or find your existing philosophy dramatically changing. Some people shift their religious ideas sometimes. A quick example. Sasha drops a rigid belief and signs up for a course in mythology. Your eclipse mantra: I open to new ways of seeing. Hi Aquarius, this hits your 8th house of intimacy, shared money, and change. The 8th house governs other people's resources, like joint bank accounts, loans, credit cards, taxes, and inheritances. An eclipse here can trigger sudden changes in these areas. This mysterious house also highlights the realm of sexual and emotional intimacy. Major shifts or revelations in intimate relationships are possible. A quick, slightly naughty example: John shares a sexual fantasy with his girlfriend, which adds energy to their relationship. Okay, so let me give you another less daring example with John. John chats with his girlfriend about sharing a credit card for household necessaries. Your eclipse mantra: I face the truth and grow through it. Hi Pisces. This hits your 7th house of girlfriend, boyfriend, partners and close friends. So expect shifts in relationships. Does this mean you're going to break up? No, but the potential is there. You may confront problems with establishing healthy boundaries, leading to a re-evaluation of intimacy and connection versus self-fulfillment. An example: Ella ends a business partnership that no longer feels fair. Your eclipse mantra: I choose relationships that reflect my growth.